All right, guys, Rath here. Let's rock and roll with the DFS Minute, the PM edition tonight for Friday the 15th on 2015. Going to hit you with as many plays as I can give you without giving you a ton of stuff. So grab your pen and paper. Let's try to bang this out in about 5 minutes and get some of those lineups in tonight. And best of luck to everybody. Pitching, I'm staying on the four guys I talked about at 7 o'clock this morning. Kershaw and Cologne, I'm going in cash. Those are the safest guys tonight that give you the best shot to win, in my opinion. And on the tournament side, I'm going Carlos Rodon, who I know a lot of people are on, as well as Kershaw, obviously. But, hey, it is what it is. And I'm on Chase Anderson. I talked about that run total earlier this morning being 8.5, and now it's all the way down to 7.5. So clearly sharp money was pounding that number. They knew the number was bad, and now we get Anderson at 7.5. So I think that's a good indication that Anderson's the way to go. I just look at that Phillies lineup. It's not very good. You got a rookie out there in Franco, who obviously is going to be dangerous, but he is a rookie and he is a right-handed bat. So I think from that perspective, tonight I do like Anderson in this spot. He's been pretty consistent this year. I do like him in tournaments. I think he's safe. As far as guys I don't like, Benny and Josh did talk about some of them. I'm going to jump on them too. Don't like Michael Pineda at Kansas City. Don't like Dallas Keuchel at facing Toronto and all those right-handed bats. Way too risky for me. One note on a line change: Odorizzi is now favored at Minnesota. Was a guy I did mention earlier today and in chat, but not a guy that fit my top two in the tournament or in the heads-up 50-50. So, but he is somebody I did look at very heavily. As far as a tournament stack tonight, I think the way to go, yes, the Dodgers are clearly the chalk, okay? Well, Dodger left-handed bats across the board. Yeah, you're going to want to, have some of that action. But don't overcount the Blue Jays here. I know Keuchel's been good, but, man, those Blue Jay bats really match lefties. So I think in a tournament, if I were to want to go against the curve, I might want to get some of that Blue Jay right-handed action and see what happens. I do think some of the sharps are going to be on that play as well, though. Let's go bargain basement 2K special on DraftKings. Got a couple guys I think you might want to look at. One of them is Preston Tucker hitting 6 at outfield, left-handed bat going against the right-hander R.A. Dickey. Does have potential hitting home run. He has shown power in the minor leagues at 2,000. If you're scrambling for salary relief in a tournament, Preston Tucker might be a guy that you want to look at. You do have 3 outfield spots. The other guy that I think is very interesting, especially because catcher is not really that strong tonight, is Johnny Manel for the Mets, hitting 7th, left-handed bat going against the right-hander in Kyle Loesch. He's only 2,000. I think Johnny Manel is going to find his way in some of my lineups. I don't like catcher tonight. I'm not paying that crazy price on Russell Martin against Dallas Keuchel. And the only other guy that I really like at catcher tonight is Carlos Perez at 2.9 going against Wei Yang Chen, hitting 7th, I believe. I think Perez is hitting 7th, maybe even 8th. But I think I'm going super cheap on catcher tonight. Probably Perez in the heads-up 50-50s and probably Manel in the tournament, especially at 2K. Give me some relief. Value play at first base. I think Kyle Blanks is an option tonight. 561 weighted on base against lefties, hitting 5th. He's at 4.1. He's not super cheap, but I think his value is enough to where he's right on that border. Probably more of a guy I'm going to want to play at outfield, but if you are looking for value, we do always recommend that you pay up at first base. But if you're looking at maybe a Ranger stack or something like that, definitely a guy that you can probably fit in. Adam Lind is another option, I think, at 4.1 as well, hitting 4th. We do know that Lind hits better against right-handed pitching. He is going against Cologne, so obviously I'm not going to use Lind in a lineup that I've got Cologne going. That's one of the rules that we talked about. But Lind in a tournament, I think, definitely gives you some options. Really, other than that, Mark Teixeira is the other guy at 4.7, but probably more of a cash game play for me. I think that Adrian Gonzalez is probably going to be the guy that you want to roll with again tonight. It's tough to keep rolling Gonzalez out there because, look, he can't hit a home run every single night. But going against a weak, inferior right-handed pitcher at home, I think Gonzalez you got to definitely look at. As far as second base goes, value play would be Jace Peterson hitting leadoff for the Braves. I'm not in love with that pick. I really actually like Valencia. Peterson's hitting leadoff, so I'm okay with that in a 50-50 or a heads-up. In tournament, I think a guy like Danny Valencia hitting sixth against Keuchel at 2.9 is somebody that I would definitely look at in a tournament. And then the other guy you can look at is either throwing out Alex Guerrero if he is in the lineup and he is still cheap. I think he's at 3.2. Alex Guerrero is always a guy that you want to get in there, especially in a tournament. Definitely somebody you want to look at. Third base, I think I'm looking at David Freese at 3.4, hitting cleanup, going against the lefty. If you want to spend up at second base, I think D. Gordon's an option at 4.8. But I think there's some other value plays at second base. So definitely, I'm really not looking at Gordon, but I think Gordon's in a good spot tonight going against the right-hander. And he usually does very well. Outfield, my favorite guy, Ryan Rayburn, hitting fourth at 3.4. Always somebody that I'm going to look to get out there. He's always super cheap. We know that he does good against lefties, and he's hitting fourth. So all signs are a go on Ryan Rayburn. David Peralta hitting fourth. He always hits right-handed pitching very well. So I do like him in this spot at 3.9K. Anybody under 4K on DraftKings is always somebody you want to consider. You need some of that salary relief. As far as some other guys to look at, some of these Dodger bats that we talked about, whether it's Ethier, whether it's Jock, I think those two guys are definitely in play, always in play against weak right-handed pitching at home. And I'm going to give you a couple of tournament guys that I think you want to look at, and it's a tournament only. Marlon Byrd hitting fifth against Bumgarner. I normally do not like taking hitters against aces. However, in this situation, I'm going to give you a couple of guys I think are going to be low-owned that do have some upside potential. So Marlon Byrd swinging a hot stick at 4K. I think he's a tournament option only. And then Eric Hosmer is all the way up to 4.7. Now, he does have a tough matchup against Michael Pineda, but he does crush right-handed pitching so far this year. 482 weighted on base. Hosmer would be a guy I would play in a tournament only because he's probably going to be very low owned. And if he does go off tonight, then you're going to be ahead of the curve. That's all I got for tonight, guys. Want to wish you the best of luck in your contest. Thanks again for joining us at RotoCurve. And as we say here at DFS Minute and RotoCurve, stay classy, DFS.